Hi, this is Monika, and today I want to try to answer the question of when to divorce. When do you throw in the towel? When do you decide that it's just not working and you need to cut your losses and move on? Now, this is a really important topic that a lot of couples in pain ask themselves. I get this question a lot, and I've had this question in my own marriage at one point in time as well. The fantasy is that if we get divorced, we're going to stop our problems. We're going to end our struggles with relationships, wipe the slate clean, and move on, and start something totally fresh. And the reality is, and a lot of people tend to underestimate this, is that most of the dynamics that we're in right now in our relationships are going to play themselves out later with another person because they're inside of us. So, and this is proven by the fact that 60% of second marriages end in divorce. So this is a very sobering reality. And not even to mention the fact that when people get divorced, the conflict oftentimes does not stop. It just crosses two households, especially if there's children and assets involved. So the way that I like to answer the question about whether or not to get divorced is first to assess your situation and ask the question, is your relationship salvageable? Now, I personally believe that most marriages are salvageable if both people are interested in trying to make it work, even if there's ambivalence. Even if one person isn't quite so sure, it can still work. So first I would ask you that, have you committed 90 days to really working on your relationship? Now, I do have some marriage-saving techniques below in a blog link that you can check out. You may have your own program or books that you're trying to work off of, but I recommend at least giving it 90 days of cleaning up your own side of the street, really working on yourself, changing your own perceptual filters and limiting beliefs and things like that, following these steps. And then if that doesn't work and you're finding no movement, no growth or transformation, then it's an appropriate time to think about divorce, because you might not be able to grow or grow with this person or heal the relationship with this person. It just might not work, but you've got to give it an honest effort. Now, another time that it would be appropriate to think about divorce is if you're dealing with somebody who's got a personality disorder or is emotionally abusive or physically abusive. Because in this type of situation, you're not going to be feeling safe either emotionally or physically to be who you are. And you're certainly not going to be able to heal past hurts, and you're not going to be able to move forward and heal the relationship or grow the relationship if you're not even feeling safe in the first place. When you're dealing with a personality disorder like narcissism, you're looking at a characterological personality structure that makes it hard for them to take responsibility for their part in the dynamics. And statistically speaking, the odds of getting past that or making real change and improvements to the relationship are very, very low. So, even though you might really love the person, if they've got narcissistic personality disorder, your odds are pretty slim, and it might be reasonable to think about moving on. And finally, if you're with somebody where, let's say you've done the work, or let's say you already get along pretty well and everything is okay except that you just feel like you can't live your life dreams with this person. And I want to clarify, it's possible to have your own life dream that's very separate from your partner's life dream. That's okay, as long as you each support each other's life dreams. But if you have a life dream that cannot come into fruition without negating your partner's life dream, then that is a time to think about divorce. An example would be, let's say you want to have a child and you know that on your deathbed, if you don't have a child, it will be a deep regret of yours. Maybe you feel that it's a higher calling, or maybe you have a way of living your life, a spiritual calling, that if you were to live that in your partnership, it would cause your partner to not be able to live their life dreams. So think about that as well. These are the top three. There's also deal breakers that people deal with that, for some people it's an affair. Surprisingly, though, a lot of times an affair is not a deal breaker. But if you are dealing with a deal breaker, and you can check out my blog on deal breakers to find out more if that's what you're dealing with, that would also be another time to think about divorce. So I hope that this is helpful. If you have any questions about your own specific situation, just feel free to email me at monikahoyt.com. And until next time.